Hey everyone, how's it going? It's Nady, and today we're trying a potentially life-changing makeup hack. As you beautiful people know, this is about the products, not the people behind them. Any tiff you may have with them, please cast it away because this is a channel of positive energy. Okay? Thank you. Oh, my little bouncing bungee cords, how you doing today? I hope wherever you're at in the world, you're having a great day so far. I myself am doing pretty okay. It's actually a little bit chilly-o. I've got my hat, and I definitely did wear this in another video. It's cozy. It's all fuzzy on the inside. I fucking love it. But I have a few hours before I go and hang out with a new friend. I'm so excited. Hopefully I'm not gonna get shit-faced because I have become a lightweight. But you know me, I'd never say no to a good cocktail. And I would also never say no to something that could totally change my makeup game. And I think this is brought to you by TikTok, either that or Instagram, I don't know. But I did screen record it. This hack is by Kevi K. Odra. It's this fabulous gentleman right there, and apparently they have a hack that will change the makeup world forever. Unfortunately though, the makeup item that they're using is fucking expensive. They use the Fresh Rose Deep Hydration Oil Infused Serum. I happen to be borrowing it from a friend, and by borrowing it, I poured it into little tubes. So I don't have the actual jar, but you do get a decent size. It's very pretty. But I also didn't want to pay like $80 or $90 if this doesn't change my world. So I borrowed a little bit from a friend who was willing to pay that and poured it into tubes. Yes, I know, cheap assery at its finest. But I'm trying not to be wasteful. So my man Kev here takes a little bit, and he first starts off by saying you need just a couple drops and then proceeds to use like a tablespoon. But I guess we use this product twice. You take a few drops and put it in the palms of your hand to warm it up, and then you apply it as a base before any moisturizer, and then you get this beautiful glow. So let's first start with that, and I think I'm gonna apply everything to just one half of my face, and then the other half will just have the regular shit that I use. And I guess this is supposed to transform any foundation into something fucking magical, so I'm gonna take one of my drier foundations that I didn't particularly love, and we'll see if it does indeed transform. We're gonna try the NARS Soft Matte Complete Foundation. This is in the shade Medium 1.2, and it's not like I hated this foundation. It is pretty, but there was kind of a fine line between it being pretty and it being totally fucked up. And so I just don't reach for it because I don't like living on the edge like that. But maybe with the oil's help, this could be fucking fabulous, so we'll see. My face is nicely washed and cleaned. I don't have anything on right now. This just fucked glow you see is not real. It's because of the lights. But let me give this a good shake because much like my parents, this did separate. Yeah, God, don't get everywhere. Oh, it smells fabulous, just like a fresh bouquet of roses. If you ain't into that, then you would hate this. It smells like Turkish delight. I love it. And he really did take quite a bit, so I'm gonna take not as much. I have a little sploogey sploosh right on my hand, and we will take it on this half of my face. Ooh, that feels quite lovely. It sinks in really quickly. I see why they used so much. I don't know that I'm really digging the price, though, for how much you have to use. I actually probably could use another little fingerful. Goodness, this looks like Italian dressing. That just sinks in immediately. It feels heavenly on my skin. And we will have to use this again in just a second because we're gonna mix it with the foundation. Let's just make sure that's really slapped in. And I can't really tell a difference between the two sides, so there's that. Like, one side doesn't seem to have any more moisture, one side isn't necessarily any shinier. So, okay. And I don't mind that you can't see it. Like, I don't love when a product is just sitting on the skin. Lenny says to go in with a little bit of moisturizer to lock this product in. I would go in with moisturizer anyway, so I'm just gonna apply that to both sides. And for that, I'm going in with my lovely Laura Mercier Perfecting Skin Cream. And I do remember the fabulous Mr. Welsh suggesting that if you don't love a cream on your face before makeup, to just go in with a serum. And I have been doing that shit lately, but they do say to go in with a moisturizer. So I'm just gonna use a little bit. My skin does not need to glow like I've been playing basketball all day, or playing with other kind of balls. I just need a little bit of hydration. And just that little bit seemed to be the perfect amount. Maybe I've just been going in with too much moisturizer. Although I will say he applied an ass ton to this woman's skin. She looks sweaty. Then they go in with a few more drops added to the actual foundation. They swirl it around and then apply it, and you're supposed to have a beautiful, glowy, long-lasting finish. And I am very much here for that. So let's take a little bit of this NARS, and I'm gonna start on the half of my face without the oil, only because I do want to use the same brush, and we can compare the sides. Oh my gosh, it's like an erupting volcano. And you really don't need much of this stuff. It is very highly pigmented, and when you do use too much of it, it is just absolutely shitty garbage on your skin. So I took one corner of my little squirt, and which side did I apply the oil to? This side? Yes? Wait, was it? Fuck, which side was it? Okay, yeah, it was this side. Whew. So I'll apply it to the opposite side first, and we'll just kind of tap it in and buff it around. Oh gosh, that is actually kind of nice. Oh fuck, this is just dripping down my hand. It's like eating a melting ice cream cone. But the first time I used this, I think I just used way too much of it. I was so used to using my Maybelline Fit Me, which you can build up and actually use a lot of without it looking shitty. And when you go in with too much of this, it just looks like absolute ass and cake face. But this now, only using a tiny bit, looks beautiful. Damn, I don't even know if I need that oil. Oh fuck, I forgot to prime. But in my defense, he actually didn't prime, so whoopsie, but yay. So there we have it. The color is absolutely perfect. Like, why the fuck haven't I been using this? Ooh, I'm warm. I need a fan. Hold on. So there is my one side. Now let's take a little bit of this oil. Again, God, don't get everywhere. This was not the right container to put this in. I've added a few drops. Let's go ahead and mix these together, make it even more liquidy. It does seem to be combining all right, like it's not separating or anything. Ooh, very nice. Okay, so let's take this half and put it over here. I'm gonna start with a little bit, just that amount. Actually, no, let's take a little bit on the forehead too. There we go. I am just making the biggest freaking mess ever. And my loves, here we go. Okay. Well, actually, in all fairness, it does look a little bit different. This side, now that it's starting to dry down, it does look like I have makeup on, which I think I remember from my initial review. Like, it goes on really, really pretty, but then the longer it sits on your skin, the worse it looks. And so I'll definitely let this side sit on my skin for a bit, because right now it looks beautiful, but in 10 minutes it could look like ass. I don't know. I do think I could use a little bit more, so let me just tap into the edges here. We can kind of build this shit up a little bit. Wow, well, right now, that is absolutely gorgeous. This side looks beautiful and airbrushed as though there's nothing on my skin. And you might not be able to see this, but up close, it does just look a little bit more natural. It's almost like my pores aren't there. But also, that's how this side started too, so let's just give it a minute to dry down. And maybe because we added the oil, it won't actually dry down. Well, I've had this on for a couple minutes, and I gotta say, this side actually does look fucking fantabulous. Both sides are alright, but this side just seems to have a little bit more shine to it. It looks more natural. Again, neither side is terrible. I really think that putting this underneath helped dramatically, but I also think that adding this to the product helped dramatically too. Wow. I'm a little bit scared to leave it as is because we don't have a primer down. Let me see if my boy Kev added powder to his model. I'm assuming it did because with the finished look, she is a bit more matte. And before the cutaway, she was like a total grease pit. So, I don't know. I do also think that the coverage isn't quite as great on the oil side. Like, I can see something right down the middle of my face when I turn. It's a direct line between the two sides. Like, this side doesn't quite look the same color. And I don't know if it's just my natural skin popping through, like maybe the oil took away some of the coverage or what that is, but like, do you see that? Am I crazy? Just kidding, don't answer that, but do you see that? It might just be the extra shine that it has. I can't tell, but there is definitely a difference between the two sides. But both sides are great. It's like getting a side at Cracker Barrel. You can't go wrong. I'm gonna take just a little bit of my Florist setting powder and lightly tap it all over my face. I think I'm gonna do the same thing for both sides just to give this an equal chance. But even with the powder, I can still see the line right down the middle, so I don't know what's happening with that. Oh shit, once that powder's added though, this side with the oil looks so pretty. There's definitely a difference between the two sides. Like this, it's almost creasing on my forehead already, but even with the same fine line on my forehead, right down the middle, it just like stops on this side. Oh my, I might have to actually invest in this product. Wow. What do you think? Can you see a difference between the two sides? Does one look better than the other? Every time I look in my monitor, all I see is that fucking line. Glad I'm not going out in this. I put the dick in ridiculous. But I, for one, am really surprised and impressed with this shit so far. Like, even though this is obviously a professional makeup artist, you never know. Like, TikTok has ruined all of my faith in humanity. We have tried and failed with way too many beauty hacks to believe anything. But baby, this one is hitting a little bit different. So my loves, here we have it. Take a good look. I'm gonna wear this for the rest of my day. I will see you in just a second. Hi, real lighting time. Hopefully you can see me. I'm using my front camera. But I've had this on for several hours now, and I think it looks pretty much the same, but I did notice in the bathroom that this side just doesn't have quite as high a coverage as this side does. I don't know if I didn't apply as much. And I think I mentioned that while filming, but I do think this side is actually a lot prettier. But then from a bit of a distance, this side looks better. And I think that's just because I look more porcelain and more fuller coverage. Neither side really looks bad, but if I had to choose, I would probably pick this side. I think the oil is doing a great job. I don't really have dry skin. I don't have oily skin. It's just in the middle. And so if you did have dry skin, you might want to double up on the oil. But if you had oily skin, you could still probably get away with using this. Hold on, let me take a look in my mirror. I mean, honestly, it does look pretty good, but I do still see the white line right down the center of my face. I don't know what the fuck is up with that. But with the oil side, there's just a bit more softness to my skin. I also wonder if this side looks prettier because it held onto more of that powder. I'm sure that with the addition of the oil, there was more for it to latch onto, so that might also be what I'm seeing. But either way, I still think this is hella gorgeous, and oh, I might pop for actually buying it. Although really, the foundation that I use doesn't really need this. It looks great on its own. But if you have a foundation that you do want to make even prettier, you could use this, and it certainly isn't going to damage your skin. So yeah, I have a few more hours till the end of my day. I will see you then. And we are back. It is the end of my day. How the fuck are we looking? Well, actually, I know how we're looking. I was just looking in the mirror in my bathroom, and I gotta say, both sides honestly look the same now. For a hot second, the oil side did look a lot better, but I think the oil must have sunken into my skin, and now both sides look the exact same. I don't think either side looks bad, but with this oil being really expensive, I kind of expected it to last like all day, and we're at like this 6-hour mark. I need to go get ready for the rest of my day. And I would say around the 3-hour mark is when I stopped being able to tell a difference between the sides. So I don't really know that this is worth it. Maybe you could go in with more, but again, this is a really expensive product, so if you have to use a lot, like just buy a better foundation. I don't think it looks bad, but there is now an equal amount of creasiness on my forehead, and it is starting to separate right around there. I actually think I like this better without a primer. This seems to really fuck hard with just that moisturizer, so that's interesting. But I could see this working if you did use like the tablespoon amount that the makeup artist used, but I really can't justify the price tag for the amount that you have to use. Oh wait, this is $62, not $100. What the fuck was I thinking? Even so, that does seem like an awful lot of money. I guess I am a little bit more on board with that price. But I guess if I were to use this product, I would just use it as a base and maybe skip adding it to my foundation and get a better foundation. I did really like the hydration that it gave my skin. It sunk in immediately, and it's not like adding it to my makeup really did any damage. So it's really up to you, but is this hack amazing? Not necessarily, but it definitely did do something, so I can't say it's debinkity bunked. What do you think? Can you tell a difference between the side without the oil and the side with the oil? Do they look any different? Do they look the exact same? I'm just more impressed that this foundation actually looks good on me now. Yay for that shit. Anywho, darlings, there you go. Thank you so much for being here. I loved having you. Let me know if there's any other hacks that you'd like me to try. I love doing these kinds of videos. And you know the spiel. If you want a little bit more me in your life, head over to my Patreon. It's patreon.com/poplux. You get videos a day early. You get Patreon only content. You get a Patreon only store. And best part, it's cheap, fun, and fancy, just like me. And don't forget, my latest Repop collection is available at repopcosmetics.com. Comment down below. Let me know what you thought of this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. You can follow me on Snapchat, Instagram, and Twitter at officialnady, and you can follow me online at thepoplux.com. Thank you so much for watching. I love you all, and I will see you again soon. Bye.